Yeah, it was interesting, group of events, and to say the least. I've never been through something like that, and I think our guys were ready to go and ready to play, and it just played out really strange. Number one, we were playing a very good football team, a very well-coached football team. We knew that, especially defensively. We knew we were going against possibly the best defense in the league, and they deferred. They won the toss, deferred, and give us the ball, and we don't do much with the ball, and end up punting. And they're very aggressive on defense, and you end up punting, and punt wasn't great. It wasn't bad, wasn't great. And defensively, we were trying to find our way a little bit, because when offenses come out and they show you what they're going to be doing in the game, they cross us up a little bit on their personnel groupings and what they were running out of those personnel groupings. And you talk about the first half to the second half. We got a beat on that, and then made the proper calls, and they did a nice job with that. And that's kind of the chess match between offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator. They came out with something they hadn't done in the past, and our guys did a nice adjustment. So they moved the ball down, and we play good red zone defense, and it's 3-0, and then we don't do anything again with the ball. And still trying to find our way on offense, and we kick it. We punt it 25 yards, and now the defense is covering a short field. We put them in a bad situation with the special teams, and are we trying to shank the punt? No. And what happened with that was the snap was a little bit to the right. Eric had to move over a little bit into the A gap to his right, and the pressure was coming from there. And then he tried to go quick and get his leg on it, and came across it and ended up shanking it, and put our defense in a little bit of a tough situation. But we're playing good red zone defense. It's 3rd and 9, and excuse me, 3rd and 9, and they line up in an illegal formation, only 6 people on the ball, which froze our safeties. Our safeties are trying to figure out the formation and who's going to go in jet motion, and there's only 6 guys on the line of scrimmage. So they send a guy in motion, we freeze a little bit, which we should have probably handled it better, and they almost, I think they got to the 1 yard line on that play. That would have been a 3rd and 14. But we didn't get that, and that's an unfortunate thing, because our guys didn't recognize what the formation was, because there was only 6 guys on the line of scrimmage. So now, instead of a 6-0 ball game, now you're down 10-0, and now our offense runs down the field and moves it very well. We got a handle on it, and Coach Sells got a beat on what they're doing, and we're moving the ball, and we knew that their defensive line was very aggressive, so we wanted to go on 2. Our cadence is a clap, and it's a very rhythmic clap. We go on 2, and they jump, and we get one, and then it's 3rd and 4, and we clap, same exact rhythmic clap, and they call us for a false start. And now instead of a first down, we got long, and we underthrow a corner route that's wide open, just a little bit underthrown, and we pick it off. And not only do we not get points out of it, and we turn it over, then they run it 55 yards back. We can't get the guy down on the ground, so now our defense is defending a short field again. And so then we play some great defense, and we got a 3rd down and long. We bring a safety blitz, and Corey's trying to be aggressive. He didn't want to hurt the quarterback. He's trying to hit the quarterback, and he got called for a targeting call. And he's got to keep his face up. We don't want our players to put their head down, because we don't want them to get hurt, and we're not trying to hurt anybody else. And we would have been off the field there. So that's a big deal, right? They end up getting a touchdown, and now it's 17-0, and now you're kind of going, what's going on here? And they kick it off to us, and Kobe ends up trying to cut back on a kickoff. They should have stuck up in there and didn't try to fumble it. The guy knocked it right out of his hands, and now it's 24-0, and you don't even know what happened. And then the next time we're defending them, We get another late hit, a targeting call that would have been 3rd and long the next play, and they get the first down and they score, and we're down 31-0. You know, so I think our guys were ready to play, and they showed that they were ready to play in the second half. And when I talked, you know, coming off the field, I didn't think we were out of the game at all. I knew we were going to be able to move the ball, and all we had to do was come out and play some defense. I told our guys in the locker room, just come out and play great football. Things will take care of themselves, and then hopefully you get a turnover in a game like that. When you're behind, you got to score, you got to get stops, but you need a turnover. Had we got a turnover in the second half, I think we would have won the ball game. And we came out, played hard, and executed our stuff both sides of the ball. And unfortunateenly, we get down. We're going to make it a 2-score game, 14 points, with over a quarter left, and Gresh and Calhoun's, you know, he tried to pull it a little bit and left it on Jeremy's hip, and Gresh had some success pulling it and scoring, and unfortunately that one didn't go well, and that would have made it a 14-point game. And the very next drive, we throw to Samori for a touchdown. Would have made a 7-point drive. We got them on their heels. You know, so it was very unfortunate for our team how all those things went down, and a little bit of, you know, there's all kinds of outside effects on things, and a couple of our guys didn't execute things, but how our guys responded in the second half was unbelievable. And we talked about it at the end of the game in the locker room with our team. Is we were down 31-0, and throughout the game we got better because of that second half. Our football team got better, if you can believe that. It's a crazy thing to think about, but we are a better football team because of how we handled that stuff. Now we've got to come out and be able to play. This week, you got to get after it. You can't come out and do the same things early. But I think we've got 10, 15 years of luck running after last week, that all the bad things that possibly could have happened to you happened, and you know, and all my clean living is gonna smooth sail us through the next 30 years here, maybe. But anyway, so proud of our guys, and they're so mentally tough, and they're so close, and enjoy each other. Nothing phases them. Yeah, were they upset? Hugely upset. It was awful, but they stuck together and they played great football in the second half. We won the second half, you know, and our defense shut them out. We threw a pick six that we should have never thrown. That hurt us, and you got a young guy at quarterback trying to make a play, and it didn't go well, you know. But we beat them 21-6 in the second half, and that's what you expect from your football team. So is the process going in the right way? Heck yeah, it is. Our football team gets better every single week, and all the things that are thrown at us are going to make us stronger. And yeah, we truly want to win. I want to win for these guys. I hurt for these guys when the scoreboard doesn't go the right way. But we handled it as a football team better than anybody in America could have handled that situation, I think, because of what we've done in the off season and summer and fall camp.
Mike, when things are snowballing like that and nothing can go right, it's easier to regroup at halftime once you get a break. But when you're trying to regroup in the game and it's kind of going so fast, just, you know, what was that like?
I think just the biggest thing, you know, trying to keep a level head, but like you said, in the middle of you know, when you're in the thick of it and all those things are happening, it's tough sometimes to sort of keep a neutral mind and not acknowledge, you know, what's happening score-wise. You know, kind of like Coach said, we would be hard-pressed to put together a worst half or you know, worst quarter of football, worst half of football, and it's kind of nice knowing the way we handled things. You know, change a couple things. You know, the fumble on the kickoff or the interception, you know, change a couple small plays, and we're right in the middle of that half. You know, we're doing well. So it's good to know, having played that bad of a quarter, bad of a half, and change a couple small things, and we're right there.
Coach, as far as things snowballing and getting out of your control, where does that rank in terms of games you've been a part of?
Yeah, I've never been a part of something like that, and you know, there's just all kinds of stuff. It wasn't always us. Right. that was causing it, and it's just, I mean, I don't know if all that would have happened in a movie, people would have said no way. There's no way that would ever happen in a football game, So it's just one of those things that it tests you big time, and it's very, very frustrating because you put so much into it to get to Saturday, and then when it starts like that, you feel for these guys because you want to give them a chance to win, and unfortunately all the things how they played out, it made it very difficult. But we still had a chance. We really had a chance. Had we got the ball into the third quarter to make it a 14-point game, it would have been very, very interesting the rest of the game. And right before halftime, they ran corner fire on us. We had a streak with Sammy down the outside, and Griz tried to stick it in on a hole shot. And if he would have just held it one more second, we would have had a touchdown right before halftime, and got us to 13 there too. So I mean, it's so those little close things, and those are the things that Gresh will never make that mistake again. He gets corner fire again. He knows our back's picking it up. We're going to have that. And those are the things that you bank that knowledge as you go through games and experiences, and so all those bad things that happened, some very positive things happened in the end.
Coach, not much time yet to get a deep look at Northern Arizona, but what can you take away from Weaver to apply to another one of the top 3 teams in the league coming here to Washington Stadium?
Yeah, they're a great football team. I mean, their quarterback it's fun to watch. Me being a quarterback guy, he's so accurate, and they do a really good job offensively of moving him around. A lot of RPOs and moving his launch points. And they got some nice receivers, and I mean, they just do a nice job of running their stuff. Defensively, they've got a really good scheme. They're very sound, and they're aggressive, and they're a good football team. They're where they're at for a reason. They got a lot of great players, but their coaches do a great job too.
I know Andy Thompson's been there for a long time, but he told me he made some tweaks in their scheme. Do you notice tweaks in the defensive scheme compared to last year to this year?
There's a little bit of difference with their fronts and stuff. So it's still similar, but they've made some changes.
How big of an adjustment is it from the style that Weaver wants to play versus they can put up some pretty good point totals this year?
These guys are going to do a little bit more perimeter stuff on you, but they'll have a tight end. They got that H-back that moves around in there, and they're going to have some tight ends, or they'll move it back in the backfield, and they do a lot of different misdirection stuff. They can run the ball. They're not just a straight spread team. If you look at their scores and what they're doing passing the ball, you think they're spreading it out and it's air raid, and it's not. They got a nice scheme.
Mike, for you, especially as a senior now, kind of what's like the sense of urgency as we are down the stretch here?
The Weber State game reminded me a lot of last year's game when we traveled down to NAU. We had some really good momentum going into that game. I think we were 5-1 last year, is that correct? Mm-hmm. Going down to NAU, and same sort of setup this year. We got off to a good start. Our only FCS loss being to Eastern, and we go to Weber State and stink it up in the first half and end up losing the game. And I think the seniors after the game, we got together and we essentially said, this game right here is our NAU game from last year, and obviously you guys know what happened on the tail end of last year after that NAU game. So I think our backs are against the wall in the sense that we need to handle sort of what we went through last year and apply that to this year and come out strong against NAU and keep that good momentum we had going from the first half of the season continuing on through.
What's different about this team that you won't have that what happened last year?
I think just the maturity. We've been thrown in a lot of tough situations. Last year being one of them. We've been through a lot as a team, and I think the more that we were faced with those scenarios and we handle them and get the chance to face them again, just that maturity and that experience of having done it before, we sort of know how to go about it a little better this time around.
Coach, we know that, you know, a lot of teams will look at tapes and try and do things that work, and Gracie's been great this year, but then does have the 3 interceptions yesterday. Is there something that Weber did? I know they had a corner that kind of came off coverage on the 1 interception on that and maybe threw him a little bit of a curveball. Is that something that you saw, that their defense sort of baited him into a couple of things? And do you think that's something that he will have to overcome now going forward in other defenses that they face?
Yeah, you know, every week is different. That first interception was, he just underthrew it. I mean, if he throws it 10 inches farther, it's a touchdown to Jerry, you know, and it was a smash concept, and, you know, and we stop with the outside receiver, and the corner stops, and now we got a corner out in behind it, and if he just throws it out there just a little bit farther, it's a touch, and it's 10-7, you know, and he underthrew it a little bit, and on the pick 6, it was cloudy, you know, and he tried to hang with it, and he should have stepped up, got out, and looked for the backside dig or run it, and he did, you know, and he tried to force it, and you know, those are things like the quarterback position is a tough position, you know, to play, and for a freshman to do the things that he's doing, and, you know, he's going to get better every week, and he still gives you a chance. You know, he throws these, you know, sometimes he throws an interception, and then he comes right back with a great play. He throws a nice ball to Samori and gets a touchdown, and they weren't baiting him in it. They had great coverage.